Hi, Scorpio. How's it going? I hope you all are doing well. I have missed you guys so much, and I'm so glad to be back up and running again. It's been a while. So, I have a new setup. Please forgive me if the microphone's off, it sounds off a little bit, or lighting. I'm still working on it. So, let's get started on your reading for May 2025. I'm going to do past, present, future, and I'm going to clarify the cards, and I'm also going to have a card for the overall energy of the reading. Spirit, give me guidance for Scorpio for the month of May 2025. Tell me about Scorpio. Nope, not taking it. Let's see. 2025, May of 2025, last shuffle. In your past position, you have Judgment, Six of Wands, and Eight of Cups. In your current position, you have the Knight of Wands, Justice, Ten of Swords. In your future position, you have the Nine of Cups, the Six of Wands. I'm sorry, Six of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. Overall energy for the reading is the Strength card. So, quite interesting. You have three major arcanas here. So let's talk about the past for a second. I'm not going to harp on the past. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to clarify it and we'll move to the current energy. So with the Judgment card, it speaks of some type of awakening, some type of decision, right? That you have made some type of decision from the past. I am strongly getting, though, there's been some type of significant period of change here. You have the Eight of Cups, which speaks of walking away from something, and perhaps releasing something. You've definitely released something. You've made the decision to release something, let something go, to move forward to new opportunities, kind of breaking free from certain things that have tied you down is what I'm getting. Like I'm just kind of envisioning the devil card with the restraints. So let's see. Why is the Judgment card here for Scorpio spirit for May of 2025? Why is Judgment here? One more shuffle. We have the King of Wands. Why is the Six of Wands here? Why is the Six of Wands here? You have the Tower, and you have, why is the Eight of Cups here? Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups for Scorpio, please. Nope, too many. Eight of Cups. Okay. The Empress. All right. Again, a lot of major arcana here. Definitely being spiritually guided through something I feel that has been very difficult and turbulent. I do feel that you have put some time in for some personal growth towards some type of new beginning in your life. But I do feel perhaps there maybe was some type of upheaval before you came to some type of revelation here with the Six of Wands. Some type of breakthrough, something kind of had to come falling down, falling apart before you realized, okay, I'm going in the right direction. This will be successful. Again, it's something with growth here with you, very heavily, Scorpio, going through like a growth spurt, right? Like coming out of a shell, moving forward, no longer staying stagnant and stuck is what I feel, especially with the Eight of Cups and the Empress. It's like, the water in these cups became stagnant, no longer of use to you, no longer desired, and knowing you had to walk away to move to a better to better and higher ground, right? Not maybe knowing, having a lot of unknown with these mountains here, not being able to see really what was on the other side, but just trusting and having faith. And the emperor is a symbol of love, and I'm really getting the feeling of having love for oneself and inner self in order to move to this next level that you're currently in here. The empress also could be a symbol of maturity, right? Leveling up, and you know mm, there has been some reflection here, but realizing, okay, it's time for me. It something has matured, come to an end for me to move forward, to move on to the next thing. So with the Knight of Wands and Justice and Ten of Swords in your current position, there is some type of risk you're taking, right? And it could be something that is you're trying to quickly move towards, especially with the Knight of Wands, because there's nothing slow about the Knight of Wands. I'm getting that there's like a hasty need to find a balance, right? Because justice does speak of balance. You see this here, and I don't know why I'm drawing a blank for the name of it, but it is, it's all about balance, right? And equality. And this could be something regarding a legal matter. It doesn't have to be. You address this to whatever it is speaking of in your life, because for everybody it's different. But some type of decisive action is going to be required of you, or is being required of you in the current moment. But at the same time, needing to find the balance with passion and reasoning, right? Um, But just with the Ten of Swords, I can't help but to feel that something very difficult is coming to an end, or it's time to bring it to an end. And it's very painful. But I do feel like you've been knowing this is coming. This is something that is no longer avoidable. Okay. And it could have something to do with someone who is in and out, comes back and forth, or a situation that keeps recurring over and over. And it's just getting like the imbalance of it all is just too much, and it's time to put an end to it. But let's look further and clarify. Okay. Knight of Wands. Why is the Knight of Wands here? Oh, hang on. A card fell on the floor and I'm going to grab it. And you have the Queen of Pentacles. Excuse me, I have a sore throat, and if I cough, I apologize. I'm gonna have to get some water in a minute. Justice. Why is justice here? The Death card, again, another major arcana. Yeah, definitely a transformation of knowing something has to come to an end to be able to move forward and regain your balance, is what I just heard. Why is the Ten of Swords here? Ten of Swords. The sun. Yeah. So you can see light again. You can feel lighter. It's like you're in the process of coming out of the dark and into the light. You are transforming. I can't remember if it was Cancer or Pisces, but Cancer and Pisces reading was both very, very similar. And it just like, no transformation is easy, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be called a transformation. When you look at a caterpillar and you see this thing, it's really not beautiful, elegant, right? It looks like it's struggling to crawl. It can sting you if you hold it. It's just not pleasant. However, a butterfly is elegant and beautiful and radiant and is just graceful, right? So in order to look like that, you have to go through that struggle, you have to go through that metamorphosis, that transformation. And I do feel like this was a painful, whatever this was, it was eye opening, and realizing like I do belong, I do deserve, I am worthy, right? Are the vibes that I'm getting in here. And, with the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, there is just a strong feeling of to me, about, it's time for a new adventure for you. And with the Queen of Pentacles crossing it, it's like, it's about nurturing oneself. It's okay to be adventurous, it's okay to be creative, practical, right? Um, and realizing some things don't always need to be immediate and that they take time and they take patience, and that's okay. So be patient with yourself, is what I'm getting here, Scorpio. I am getting the feeling that truly this was more of a necessity for you with this Justice and Death card. There was more of a necessity for you to find the balance, the scales of balance, right? Within yourself and within your life, and understanding that there are inevitable cycles here going on, but you do have control. You do have the control and the power to try to balance things out as best you can based on how you react, how you do things, how you handle things, and you're responsible for your own balance, not someone else. For example, don't put it on someone else for you to balance your happiness and how you feel, right? Only you should have the power to do that. Never give that power away. And whatever this is, it is a major, it's something major. It could be a big decision. It is a big decision because deciding to put you first and put yourself and change, is huge. It's hard to change, right? Because we're programmed based on how we were raised, how we were taught. It's kind of how we're programmed. And to redo that at any age takes a lot of courage, a lot of wisdom, a lot of strength. So, definitely a huge transformation here. And I'm sorry if I keep repeating myself, but I feel like I have to keep saying that to get through to somebody. Like, it's okay. You're not alone. We're here with you. You're not the only one going through this. And with the Ten of Swords and the Sun, there definitely could have been some type of betrayal here, but it's like you're gaining the clarity because you're able to see something now. Again, the light versus the dark. You're coming out of the dark as well. You're coming into the light. You're gaining some type of clarity here and seeing things clearer. It's like you're on the road to recovery. It's like I'm going from having 10 swords in my back to riding this horse. It's like you're coming out feeling more optimistic about your future. And if you don't feel that now, I do have a strong feeling that you will. I mean, look in your future, you have the Nine of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. Things are going to start moving faster, going, getting to this calmness, getting to this other side, this new thing over here to bring your happiness and fulfillment, right? Emotionally, physically, mentally. So let's pull and see the cards of what we have over here. I'm sorry if all right, let's see. Nine of Cups. Why is the Nine of Cups here for Scorpio? Why is the Nine of Cups here for Scorpio? Nine of Cups, Nine of Cups. Mm, we have the Five of Wands. Why is the Six of Swords here? We have the Three of Wands. And why is the Eight? All right. I definitely feel like in the future, you are going to be recovering quickly. You're going to be coming out of perhaps feeling stagnant, feeling exhausted. Things are going to start moving in a better direction for you for sure. So, with the Nine of Cups and the Five of Wands, you may encounter some conflicts or obstacles, but at the same time, you can still achieve your goals. It's like I feel like you're going to get to a point where you're realizing that, you know what, life is going to throw curveballs. Oops, sorry, my phone. News notification. Um, you know, life can throw us curveballs, right? But it's not anything that you can't overcome. You can certainly overcome obstacles, the conflicts, to your satisfaction and fulfillment, right? Overcoming any type of tension, anything that it, it may feel a little destructive a negative can turn into a positive is what I want to say. So don't get discouraged. You know, keep going. Things are going to start feeling lighter. Is the energy I'm getting. And let me say this too, because I'm getting this as well. That perhaps any competition will come out to your satisfaction. Is something else that I'm getting. All right, Six of Swords, Three of Wands. We have progress, right? We have progress. We're moving forward. You know, sometimes we may have to stop for a second and look, because we do have where this looks like sand, but in essence it's water because there's a boat here. So sometimes we may have to look at things a little bit more carefully and, not hastily if, be illusioned by certain things of what we see, being able to see through things, do transition, right? And through growth and progress, moving forward in the right direction is what I'm getting for you, Scorpio. Really, really nice. And I do feel it's definitely a time of forward movement for you. And sometimes you may have to stop for a minute and say, okay, is this, and rationalize with yourself, right? And talk things through. That's fine. We all have to do that. We all go through it. With the Eight of Wands and the Four of Swords, I am getting for some of you that things might start taking off so quickly. Don't forget to rest and relax and recover because you're going to need that. It's like your plans are finally coming to fruition and things could be moving faster than anticipated. But don't forget to be able to retreat and rest and relax as you needed. Um, you also may need to distance yourself. Um, how can I put this? From things again to, like I said here, to kind of take a minute to assess, right? And look at something before jumping to perhaps a conclusion or making a quick decision on what direction to go in. Really contemplate it and look at it and just, get the chatter out your ear from other people perhaps around you and just take time to yourself to make informed decisions and what's best for you. So let's see why the strength card is here. I mean, very, very beautiful reading, Scorpio. Why is the strength card here? The Ace of Wands. Well, wow. I mean, there is a new beginning. It's like out with the old, in with the new. You see this staff here, this branch, and you see the old leaves are falling off and new things are budding out and coming out into existence. And with the gray background, it kind of gives me the feeling of the unknown, right? And we can certainly fear the unknown, but have the strength within yourself to not fear the unknown and embrace it and move forward, to be excited again for new beginnings, because I do feel you are headed toward more exciting new beginnings, things you deserve, things you've wished for. Like, you're gonna gain your personal power back, and I absolutely love that because I think that is so important for each and every one of us to know how much power we hold within ourselves, and just sometimes having the strength to get through very difficult times in our lives, and what it takes and how strong you are is going to lead you to so much more abundance and new opportunities. And it's also going to give you the self-confidence and motivation and drive, the determination. So, and I feel like that's something that you've lacked for quite some time, but now you're finally finding yourself. And it doesn't matter how old you are, what you've been through, getting to that place is such a great feeling. and such a success. So great job, Scorpio. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. Comment, tell me how this relates to you. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Keep standing in your power, and I'll see you soon. Bye.